Ruben is here again. And so, some people have asked me during our consulting session, they said, what is the role of the board in designing a company strategy? That's a question that's bothered a lot of organizations. So you find a spectrum, and several organizations are at different points in the spectrum of thought concerning the role the board should play in design of the strategy. So in some organizations, the board has to design the strategy, hand it over to the CEO and his executive team to execute, because, well, they own the company, so they know what the problem they want to solve. And if the argument is, if they design the strategy, they will back it up. Okay, now at the other point of the spectrum, the CEO and his team designs the strategy and hands it over to the board for approval. Okay, and the idea is, if they design the strategy, they'll be motivated to pursue it. And if the board believes in the CEO and his team, they will give support. So people are divided in their thoughts on which approach is actually correct. Well, it's very simple. If the board has to design the strategy and hand it over to the CEO and his team to run, it means there is no CEO. The CEO has abandoned his executive responsibilities and should be fired. He should be smart enough to resign before he is fired. He should at best be seen as a COO, not CEO. At the other end of the spectrum, if the CEO has to design the strategy and hand it over to the board to approve, well, that means if the board likes the strategy document, they will approve it. That's perfect. Now, if they don't like the strategy document, they will reject it. Well, that also means that the CEO is fired, because the direction of the company is being determined by what the board thinks. He doesn't know enough to run the company. Now, that's something we need to address. So the question is, which approach is correct? Well, neither of them is completely wrong, and neither of them is completely correct. So the thing is, I'm just going to give you 3 steps on how to involve the board on the role the board should play in designing of a company strategy. So first of all, at the beginning of the process, the CEO should approach the board and ask them questions on the problems they think the strategy should address. That way, you get the input of the board on the problems you think, on the problems they think the strategy of the company needs to address. Okay, so they give you their input, so you're on the same page with them. Now, in the middle of the process, you come back to the same board. All right, you come back to the same board, all right, to do what at this time? To present to them strategy possibilities. So based on the first meeting, you've come back as a CEO and your team, you work and you're giving them a document presenting them strategy possibilities for their approval, now for their advice. So after that, you go back and now work again based on this advice and present to the board a final detailed strategy choice to be executed by the company. Apparently the board will accept it, because remember, their input was a part of this. Now this way, the board is a part of it. They'll give their support. The CEO and his team and the whole staff, we are part of the development, so they'll excuse me, you have their energy in executing this.